The strongest jungler in the game. ATM. Also not Bellweth. I think Bellweth is the strongest one. I think Bellweth is definitely S tier. So we just use Cho. This is Bellweth. I think Bellweth is so fucking broken. Her kit is just so insane. She has so much mobility with her dashes. She has a knock up Kayn W. Insanely low cooldown. Her E is the most obnoxious spell ever. It has high cooldown, but the spell is so broken, deals so much damage. And she's just a full tank during it. Like, it's just a master. You meditate but on crack. And her ulti, a reset champ, giving her HP back on every reset. And her stacks giving her attack speed. Like, she's just so fucking good. Insane team fight unless they're full range. Unless enemy team is full range and full peel, she's fucking strong. She shreds everyone, has insane attack range, shreds objectives, insane sideline potential with her little minions that spawn. She's just fucking cracked. Insanely strong early game. I think Bellweth is S tier. Diana. Is Diana still S tier? Wukong is definitely S tier. Wukong is still a S tier champ. Insanely broken kit, 2 knockups. The only thing this champion doesn't have is clear, which he doesn't need because he's just such a fucking stat monster, right? And when you have one item, you clear fast anyway. After Divine Sunray, your clear is decent. You just early game clears just shit, but after that you're good. And you just win every 1v1 against any champion, except Udyr maybe. So Wukong is S tier, insane team fight, insane 1v1, just stat monster champ. You don't even need to be scared about AP champions because you can go more. So even though Wukong is really good against AD, you can just build more and you're good against AP as well. So just really fucking broken champ, you one-shot, literally one-shot with the Divine Sunray, you're so fucking tanky, you have so insane teamfight potential, and so much playmaking tools around your W. So Wukong definitely S tier. I mean Diana just also stat monster, insane teamfight, insane clear. The fastest clear in the game. The fact that she can just jump over walls and one-shot camps with every third auto attack is just cringe. And then her builds, like that you can just go full tank build, go AP tank build, go AP build, and like no matter what build you one shot. Tron is only good in what? Yeah, Tron is not S tier. He wins every 1v1, but he's not like, he's only good in those scenarios and against full tanks. Like Tron is the champion you pick against Wukong or Bellweth jungle. So Diana, this is probably the Exodia of jungle. I don't know about Kayn. Is Kayn S tier or not? Why did people stop playing Talia? No, but we can't put every champion in S tier. I put Diana A tier. I think Diana's A tier. I think Diana's A tier. Because after the nerf, she's not as obnoxious. We're saying, Joe, this is Bellweth placeholder. Graves. Graves is hit or miss. I think Graves is A tier as well. Graves can't be S tier because you need to have a lead and you get insanely hard outrange later. Graves is really fucking like strong when you get your items, when you get a lead. With the God Drinker build or with the Eclipse, yes, but like it's hard to get a lead. And he's really bad in team fights unless you're really ahead. So Graves can't be S tier. I think he's A tier. Because not like, still with that champion you can do so much shit. Just his E spell makes you like, and his E spell also gives him the armor, right? His E spell is so good because you can just invade, win every invade, and you can jump over walls and get out with everything. Like he's just a champion that even when falling behind, you can still get back. Because you can jump over walls, counter gank insanely well. No one can contest you in the jungle except like Udyr, but even Udyr can maybe outkite. Rengar. Now I don't think Rengar's A tier, simply for the fact he has so many, like Rengar gets countered by Brain, right? Rengar's not weak, not at all. That's why I put him in A tier. That's why I put him in A tier. But Rengar is definitely not S tier. He can't be S tier. There's too much shit. Like if you pick Bellweth, Wukong, Graves into Rengar, meta champions, you will get shit on. You will literally get shit on. Yes, he's obnoxiously strong in those 2v2 fights, 3v3 fights. He can one-shot, yes. He can be fucking annoying with his W, but he gets countered by so much shit. By bruisers, bruiser meta, tanks. He's still... And you can't play him bruiser because it's just weak. If you want to play a bruiser champion, don't play Rengar, play any other bruiser, he's more useful than Rengar. Poppy good at thinking at early game, Wukong strongest teamfight, J4, why? What do you think? I agree with this. Poppy S tier champ, insane good clear, insane good fight, really good early game for ganks if you have smart decision making like Bo just said. You're fucking like you're crazy strong for no reason. You're like your 1v1 is so good, your ganks are so good, and just overall just overtuned champion. Your W spell counters Wukong, counters Diana, counters so many meta junglers, counters Rengar. If you play Poppy well, she's just fucking crazy. She's crazy. She would be even above Bel'Veth and Wukong in my opinion. I'm not even saying that because I'm biased. Poppy is just fucking cracked. Her stats are so crazy. You one-shot people with level 6. Talia 8 tier, I think. Just Talia's an overtuned champion. I mean, I'm saying like everyone is overtuned kinda, but they are. Like, Talia is so fucking good against like the same reason why Poppy is kinda good. Only that Talia is a range assassin, like mage, and Poppy is a melee tank. Which sounds stupid, but like they cancel jumps, and almost every meta champion has a jump, right? After the rework, even the meta ADCs like Kalista get countered by her, Zeri get countered by her because she can cancel the jumps. Meta Midlanders like Ari and Sylas get countered by her. So like, she's just fucking strong. She got nerfed, yes, but she's still A tier. And once you get like 2 items, you can spam Q every 2 seconds, which gives you insane poke. And if you play smart around CC, you just one-shot and CC everyone. So really good champion, Talia. And once you got 2 items, you're scared, you're insanely fucking strong. Okay, and yeah, like back to Rengar. Rengar has to be A tier, not S tier, not B tier. Because A tier is for me 50-50, but a little more than 50-50. More like 60% strong, 40% weak. That's A tier for me. And the only time Rengar is shit is when he gets countered. For example, they pick Poppy Lulu. They pick full tanks. Like basically when you can't one-shot people, Rengar is useless, right? When you can't one-shot, when you can't go for picks, when you get shit on early game, that's when Rengar is useless. That's like very often the case right now, but also you can always play around it. You can go side lane. You can try to go Edge of Night and kill the backline. But if you have brain, Rengar gets countered. Because you can build Stopwatch, you can build Zhonya's, Tabi's insane anyway, GA, like they're so fucking good those items. Even Crown is good on some mid laners. Like if you have brain, Rengar is not that good. Because you can just avoid him, not play around his W. Then you can just build items against him. But he is still obnoxiously strong in some scenarios. With Duskblade, with his W that you can heal back to full. Canceling CC. Like he's A tier, he has to be A tier. Strong champ, good champ. My one trick, my baby. Seiju A tier? I agree, Seiju A tier as well. Not S tier. But Seiju just a stat monster once again, who would have thought tanks are stat monsters. Insane CC, really good CC, good for team fights, good ganks. Even good for 2v2 picks, if played well. She's better top lane though right now, but still good in jungle. Not the best clear, but who cares? Strong. I don't know about the new Udyr guys. I haven't played the new Udyr to a point where I could say. Kiana jungle? I think Kiana's B tier. I think Kiana jungle is B tier. Not C tier because she still is like Kiana. Kiana can always be useful. She has shit first clear, but after the first clear, you clear so fucking fast. She has good ganks with the stun Q, with the river element. Really good ganks. You get shit on by almost every jungler, which sucks. You get shit on by almost every meta jungler. So if you get invaded, the only plan you have is to escape. If you can't escape, you will lose your you will die. If you escape, you lose your camps. So that's the thing. She gets shit on by almost every meta jungler. If you don't have prior, it sucks. But you can just have insane ganks. Well, after like once you have 6, you're super fucking strong. And after you have like your first item, that's when Kiana gets really strong. And it's like Kiana, like the one-shot fart on keyboard champion that everyone knows. But it's hard to get to the point. It's hard to not fall behind before. You just have to kind of FK farm and flip ganks. Not a champion. Vigor, I think, is B tier. Vigor also the champion. Like if you get resets, you're strong, right? If you don't get resets, you're weak. But right now, every meta jungler also shits on Viego. He's really bad in 1v1s. You have to kinda flip around team fights, getting resets. If you don't get resets, you're shit. Viego's weak in 2v2s. Only after 6 he's good. Only after 6 he's good. But even then, you're not that strong. And late game Viego's pretty useless. Because it's hard to find an opening as Viego, right? It's really hard to find an opening. Where's Karthus now? Karthus is my question. Is he A or S tier? Probably A tier. Karthus A tier. Because first of all, it's clear. He has the fastest clear in the game. Impossible to fall behind with Karthus. Impossible to be useless. Simply because of his kit. You can't be useless on a champion. You will always have good CS. You get Liandry's. And you have your ultimate. You hit 5 champions at once. So literally just by pressing your ultimate, you're useful. Yes, you might be weak in skirmishes. If you're not good on a champion and can't place your Qs well. And can't space on them that well. But you don't need to. You can play around your ultimates, you can play around shadowing your laners. Just if they're just counter ganking, which Karthus is really good at, counter ganking, because that's when you hit your Qs. When the enemy engages on you, you can just hit the Qs. And obviously, you have insane scaling. And if you're just good on the champion, if you scale, if you don't get perma invaded and get solid CS, you're always useful and always strong. And you can just 5-man burn later with Liandry's. Really fucking strong champ. Karthus in my team always takes Dark Hours and have 1 minute item after 20 minutes. That's on your team, but on the enemy team, different story. Kha'Zix is, I think, C tier. Shit clear, shit fight, like shit skirmish. We can't contest any champion unless you have Conqueror and they are isolated. Once you jumped, you can't chase anyone. Like once you use your E has so high cooldown that you have to like use it properly, and everyone just runs away from you or dashes away. After 6, you're strong in 1v1s, but there's so much stealth reveal nowadays that even then you can just get hit by stuff and get revealed, and like you have to rely on your on the enemies being isolated, right? After 11 you have a quick spike which makes you useful again, and you can spam your W and 5-man slow the enemies and can just be so fucking annoying perma slow. But your clear is so shit, your skirmish is so shit. It's just a bad champion, I think. Unless the enemy plays bad and you can catch them isolated. But besides that, Kha'Zix is so fucking weak. Really shit champ. I'm sad because I like the champion. Vi is A tier. Vi is so underrated. Her 1v1 is so fucking strong. You literally one-shot people at 6. Even before 6 you win almost every 1v1 if you hit the Q. And insane pick potential after 6 obviously. You just ult someone. Team follows, GG, free pick. And later on, with the Divine Sunra build you have insane sustain. And very low cooldown. And you're very tanky. So you just become a CC bot later because your Q has like 3 seconds cooldown, 2 seconds cooldown. And you have perma ultimate if you go high cooldown reduction. And you're just a CC bot who still deals damage. Because you have good stats. So Vi is fucking strong. I even would put Vi up here. Vi is fucking strong. This is really good A tier. What about Rammus B tier? Rammus can't be meta ever. Because his clear is so fucking terrible. His ganks are not even good, you can always counter the Q somehow. Like Rammus, you're not that good at ganking nowadays. If enemy is not full AD, what are you gonna do, huh? You get kited by everything. Unless you're really fat, you're just useless. Nidalee A or B tier? I think Nidalee is A tier in solo queue. If you're playing well on her. Just because you are the most oppressive jungler in the game. Like if you have prior lanes, the enemy jungler cannot play. You will perma invade them, will perma counter jungler them, have insane clear. This is solo queue, yes. You have insane clear. If you got a demonic build, you're fucking tanky as shit. You have even good sustain with your E. Like the enemies can't catch you basically. And you can like Nidalee is the best snowballer in the game. And can make sure the enemy jungler leaves minute 10 with like 10 CS. Because you can perma zone them. If you have prior lanes. Other than that, you can't really 1v9. You're weak in 2v2s unless you hit your Q. Your champion itself is not the best. You can't play without priors. Hard to play without CC. But it's like the pick. It's like you don't blind pick her kinda, you know? You don't blind pick her. You pick her when it's good. When you can abuse the enemy jungler, when you know if you priors. So I don't know, maybe B tier, but I'll leave you in A tier for now. Poppy and Vi are good picks? No, Poppy is insanely fucking strong. Same with Vi. Diego is not good. Diana is still decent, but not broken. Rek'Sai, I would put Rek'Sai A tier as well. Rek'Sai is underrated. I don't know, Kayn maybe S tier, I don't know. I think I could do Red Kayn S tier honestly. But I will come to that later.